This land is your land. This land is my land. From California, well, to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, I tell you, this land was made for you and me.
Welcome to Markies World. I'm Markie Shinn, and today's guest is B.L.T. Bryant Turner. What's the L for?
Lee.
Bryant, okay. All right, this is one of your best comedians ever in Chicago, Illinois. So welcome, B.L.T.
All right, thank you. You sure put a lot of pressure on me. That's what them little women is something else, ain't
That's
they?
right, yeah, that's right.
Man, thank y'all for having me. We in a beautiful place. I am truly, it's a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting off the AC Green show. I'm a co-host there. I'm trying to make some money anywhere I can. I'll collect cans. You know, I got some chickens. I'm trying to see if they gonna make so I can sell some eggs, you know? But one thing I love is old school. Old school, we come from a period of time when we didn't need nothing but us. Outside, we played outside. You understand? We played in the snow. Matter of fact, we ate snow. But preferably you didn't eat the yellow snow. You understand me? But we had a good time. See, we walking around here now with worrying about coronavirus and all this. You got masks on. When we grew up, you understand me? We had candy fall on the ground. You wiped it off, you kissed it up to God, you ate it. You didn't care what was on it. You picked up a water hose, you didn't know if a dog peed on it. You still drank out of it.
Oh my gosh.
You understand me? We grew up at a period of time where you enjoyed whatever you had. See, because a lot of new schools today, they gotta have certain stuff the right way. Peanut butter and jelly was dessert sometimes. A jelly sandwich was dessert sometimes. And you didn't have to be poor to enjoy it. Come on, sugar sandwich. I ain't never had to eat no sugar sandwich. I did eat serve sandwiches though. Log cabin serve sandwich was the bomb. And then when we was little, we would eat barbecue sauce sandwich. That's where your mom and your daddy got the barbecue. And we went to McDonald's. You be so excited to go to McDonald's. You be singing a song in your car. You like, oh daddy, thank you for telling. I want 2 all beef patties, special sauce lady. You be like, boy, if you don't shut up, you getting a hamburger. And that's it, and that's all. Yeah. Hamburger was 59 cents. He complained about that. You know, it's just a bad time. You know, we sitting around here, we let the world control us instead of like we grew up where our families controlled the house. Your mama told you to do something. She told you to jump off the roof, you did it. Because when we grew up, on Saturday, in the middle of the week, you took a bath. If it was 5 of y'all, all 5 used the same bath water. You understand me? The last one just had to move the film on the top of the water. You understand me? In your school, y'all even get soap. We didn't even get regular soap. We got that powdered soap that she put in, you get out, you be scratching like you got them. You and the dog got the mange. You understand me? It was. They got new school, got it too good. They got the nerve to have virtual learning. Come on now. Half the parents don't even know how to read themselves. How they gonna help their child? You know, the kid, how you do this? I don't know how you do this. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got a lot of retardedness about that. I'm sorry, not retarded. Mentally challenged that's gonna be coming up being raised. Now, these kids, what gets me more than anything, they didn't sit still in school. So you mean to tell me at home, with their parents not paying no attention, they gonna sit there and learn anything? You be happy if a child is in 4th grade now and know their ABCs. That's how bad it got. You know, when I was going to school, I went to school where you was in a special classroom. Our classroom back then was called the EMH room. This particular classroom had all ages, because when we stayed in school, you stayed till you graduated. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was 18 years old in 8th grade. You understand me? I eat nothing. I wasn't even the oldest one in my classroom. It was a brother named May Johnson. He was 23 years old. He had a beard. He used to come to school with a cup of coffee and some crayons. That's how he rolled. You used to get into it with him, he'd be like, as soon as I take my kids home, I'll be back, man. I'm about to fight you. My father ain't gonna fight you. You grown. You know? So these were times that, you know, where you didn't worry about what you had. You worried about who you had it with. So all I'm saying is quit worrying about what the rest of the world is doing and worry about what's going on in your house. I'm B.L.T. God bless.
Yay! Hey, B.L.T. Sit down.
Where you want me?
I don't know. Okay.
I mean, I could sit,
Okay,
we
sit
can put
right.
2 chairs right.
Boy, B.L.T., that was so great. I mean,
Thank
that you
you.
are so funny.
Thank you.
You know, I've seen you a couple of times before. The first time I saw you, you were so nice, you know, and said that you would be on my show. And you know, this is actually over a year.
Wow, I'm sorry. Well, I was trying to pay back child support, so that's why I didn't make it that first time, you know.
That's okay.
And
That's fine.
community service, you know,
And
you gotta
then
do what you gotta
the
do.
last one I saw you, it was in April, I think, where they had Joe
Bar,
Barr,
okay,
and I can't think of who the other person was. Joe Barr.
yes.
Who? Joe Barr
Yes.
is something else. That's a name everybody got to remember.
Joe
that.
Barr is a gentleman that does, for me, I do a show called When Music Was at Its Best. And Joe Barr does, I have over 40 different artists that sound exactly like artists. I try to stick to those that are deceased, but I do use some that sound like people that still living. But Joe Barr does, long story short, Teddy Pendergrass. And he does a phenomenal Teddy
I mean,
Pendergrass.
he is something else.
Yes.
He is something else. So, and how long have you been doing comedy, or were you just a comedian all your life?
I think I was a comedian all my life, but I actually didn't start. I wanted to be a singer. That's actually what I wanted to do, but
So you can sing?
no.
Oh, okay.
That's why you say I wanted to
Oh,
be.
okay.
You know, so I was going to the studio, and the guy was taking my money because he knew that song that it was terrible. But he was like, man, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna add some more of this in there. We're gonna add some more. Come back with about $500 more. I'm gonna put the rest of it. We're gonna have this right. So my mother told me one day, me and my mother used to bump heads about everything. And she was like, why don't you just do comedy? I said, you just want me to go up there and be embarrassed. But I would always put, you know, do little pranks on my sisters when I was a kid. So yeah, comedy's always been, but I
know,
know
most black people are comedians.
we gotta be in order to live in America.
You gotta laugh to keep from crying.
Come on now,
That's the
come
thing.
on, that's the truth.
But when did you decide to, when did you make it big? Because you're actually pretty big now, aren't you?
Yeah, Father God has blessed me to take something that I really never thought was a gift and travel around the world. I've been all over the world doing comedy.
Oh.
And I've been blessed to make any type of people laugh from other cultures.
I met your wife. She's really pretty too.
Thank you,
She's
thank
pretty.
you.
You all seem like you have good.
What's
that mean?
Nothing. We'll talk off camera about that. You know, I don't want everybody to know my business. You just threw me all under the bus. She's doing perfectly fine. She's still breathing. That's what I know. You know. But yeah. So yeah.
So I will have to talk to you a little bit later. But I just think that you are really funny.
Thank you.
It's not. And do you know that you didn't say a curse word?
I don't use profanity in my comedy.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
And it's not because I just wanted to be different. It's something that I felt that, because I started out cussing like everybody else, you know. I was overseas. I did Germany, the Netherlands, and the UK for like 2 years, 2.5 years. And I would do in Germany the military bases. And I was over there, and whoa, every show it was a party afterwards with plenty of women and things of that nature. And I started, you know, kind of internalizing, looking at myself and saying, you know, and then, you know, you would be with a woman and she would probably be married, and her husband come back and he'd be like, man, I saw you on TV. Can I take pictures with you? And it did something to me.
Oh.
Honestly, it really made me take a look, and I was like, this brother's risking his life over there for
Right,
our country.
right.
Me, I'm part of that. And I'm doing this, so it did. It made me take a different look at, you know, and I was like, God has blessed me. I'm gonna X everything but gay. You know what I'm saying? I'm being real. I'm from the street, gang banging. But I grew up good, gang banging, drug addict, you know. And he gave my life up to 180. And it kills me when people say a 360, because if you do 360,
You
you
go
back to
right
where
back to where you started.
So he gave me that 180, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna take the B word out of my comment. And the N
I'm
word.
so glad. I'm so
Then
glad.
it went from the N word to the B word, and I was like, I started doing my material without a lot of profanity, and it was more effective, first of all, and it was where I could go anywhere and do my
See,
thing.
and that's the key point. You know, you could be like Michael Jackson, be loved by everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, and because I've been doing this for 26 years.
And you know what? And I'll tell you something too, because I said, okay, I can't remember if he's doing profanity. Is he cursing? I mean, how was it? I know that he was funny, but then if he does curse words, you still would have been on CAN TV, but you would have been at nighttime.
Right.
But I'm so glad that you said that, because a lot of these comedians, they're just going with the curse words, thinking that that's making them a better comedian, but it's not. They're not funny.
But that's because they go by younger comics. I went and watched some younger comics. Younger comics tend to please to their peers. As time went on, like I said, I've been doing comedy for 26 years. My comedy now is not, I don't just want to be funny. I want to be able to give a message within my comedy. So therefore, the powers that be, quote, don't know I'm giving a message, you know, to me and mine.
Yeah.
I love everybody, but a dog don't wag his own tail, something wrong. My black people are my most important people to me.
And
You know,
if you
so.
have the opportunity to go different places and to do things, you have to be able to help black people in any.
You got to stand on who you are.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like if you go out the country and you're doing military bases or what have you, you cannot talk about Trump. That's your commander. Even
Right.
when I'm, you know, in with the regular people in their country, you don't put down your commander in chief, because that's who represents you. You a part of. He's an idiot. You're an idiot.
Yes.
You know, that's the way people gonna look at you. So my thing is that if whatever gift a person has, you need to use that gift to get us and elevate us, period. I don't care if you jump double dutch. There's a place and a time you can make money off whatever your gift is. And that's what we don't push into our people, especially our young people. You know, you gotta go to school, you gotta do, some people ain't made to go to school.
Some people are not made to go.
You know, but they have gifts.
They have gifts.
You know, so that's my thing. Look at your gift and let your gift take you where you need to go. Cause definitely will. You know.
Yeah. So where from here you think you? I mean, how far can you go?
A lot of
really
people
know you.
Right. A lot of people don't know me. You know, too, and then some people do know me. But my biggest thing is not just about where I'm going, but how many people can I affect to make their lives better by some of the message and the humor that I give, because I'm blessed to be able to talk about somebody and make them laugh at themselves instead, and not feel like they're being degraded. And a lot of comics can't do that. I hate comics that come out and just talk about people in the audience. I didn't pay my money for you to talk about me.
Yeah, that.
You know what I'm
that
saying?
is true. I thought
It's
they-
enough in this world,
No, it
especially
is.
now, to talk about.
It is. It is. And the way they degrade women is just ridiculous.
But you have to remember, a lot of the younger women receive that. And a lot of the older women now receive it. I watch an audience sometime, and a comic will use that B word constantly, and they be, girl, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
That's
And
because
see,
they call each other that
I
word.
know, but
and
you-
they're starting to call me in that word too.
Yes. And it's what you know, it's what you believe in. You know, your beliefs is the most strongest thing, and we as black people have a problem that we do things according to feelings instead of facts. Because if we did live according to facts, we would not still be getting beat by people that don't look like us or misused by people that look like us. We'd have stood up and say, now enough is enough. Now it's time for us to start doing something. And we would collectively got things in place, like our own food sources and our own banking systems. And you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have to go to their banks to try to borrow some money. We would have our own. We would have neighborhoods and communities again.
Right.
When I grew up in Chatham. Everything over there was black owned. You had some brothers that owned grocery stores that were called the Collins Brothers.
Oh yeah, I
You
remember
had,
that.
you had Robert's Hotel. He owned a string of hotels. These were successful black people. You know what I'm saying? The grocery store we used to go to down on the corner of my block was called Chatham, and it was owned by black
What
people.
street did you live on?
On 76 and King Drive.
Oh.
It used to be called South Park when I was a little bitty
Oh, that's
boy.
why you know my little nephew.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
We used to go and that back down there in Chatham, they had, when I was a kid, my auntie used to take me a real chicken. When you would go in there, there'd be chickens in all these cages.
Oh, wow.
And the people would pick the chicken. I thought they were pets.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know in the back they were killing these chickens, you know what I'm saying? And I got a whiff of what was happening. It hurt my heart. But at the same time, it made me feel, now that I'm grown, we had all these things. We had men that were entrepreneurs that would come by and sharpen knives. We had men that sold fruit.
Right.
We had a lady that had a candy store that could send her kids to college off this money from this candy store. You know, and now we're at the point where we always like this. And I don't mean no harm.
Yeah, they don't have those little candy stores. Like that's candy store you talking about. I know which one you're talking about. It's
But still can be.
yeah.
It still can be. That's the problem. That's the thing that bothers me most of all. A lot of stuff I'm tired of hearing, well, you can't do that no more, and it's not like that, you know. Yes, it is. You just have to adapt to the concept of the way you have to do it now.
Wow. So what would you do if you had a chance to change this world? What do you think you could do?
If I could change this world, woo, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's
It's
powerful.
a little bit too hard.
That's a hard one. But first of all, I would get people to understand that equality and being equal is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? We live in a capitalistic country, but if you really look at communism, it is not as bad as what people think it is, because everybody's even on one platform. But see, because we're in a capitalistic country and we live in a propaganda country, they're pouring to us everything they don't want you to like. They make it negative when they show it to you. Like when I was growing up, Africa was always, we said, you know, Africa was huts and all that. Africa got beautiful cities. You know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't know that from what they said. And they had us cheering for a white man called Tarzan beating our own people in their own country. You know what I'm saying? That's how brainwashed. My thing is, if we could equal, and then my thing would be to find a child's gift and nurture that gift. That's going to help us to elevate us as who we are, as a people. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we tend to allow the world, well, the world too, but basically America, to make us live in fear now. That's something I would definitely take out that way. I don't think I would even want that in a dictionary if I was in charge.
That is so great. Thank you, B.L.T.
Thank you.
Those are the words of B.L.T. You know, those initials.
That's right, baking that tomato, girl. I'm turkey bacon now. I ain't gonna give you out blood pressure.
Okay. Thank you for being on my show. I
Thank you
really
for having me.
appreciate it.
And we found out we related, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was so, because I told Little John, we call him Little John.
Okay.
I told him that I was going to have you on the show. That was, what was that, like a month ago?
Yeah.
And he said, no, I don't think so. I said, what you mean? He said, I think he's doing something with his daughter or something you were doing. Then he went through explaining, and I was like, oh my God. He was like, yeah. I said, oh, so we related. Okay.
Yes.
Great. That is it's all good.
That's cool.
So now you'll be able to come back more often.
Yeah, and then maybe she'll invite me over to our real house, then she'll cook something. That's when you know you family. When you know where they live and they feed you.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
your family.
Oh yeah. I do that. I have Sunday meals every day of the week.
Ooh-wee. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You married?
Yeah, they go right there.
That's your husband? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Go ahead on. No wonder you up in here all laid back. Somebody, yes, and move that on your hand. Do this. Matter of fact, paint that ceiling with, I want you to use some, what do you call fingernail brush to glue the whole ceiling. That's beautiful. And you all are in this is a fantastic spot there. A place that you don't see a lot of us with storefronts at. Can I say where it's at?
Oh yeah.
Oh, in Evergreen.
It's the Beverly Hills Art Gallery.
Yes.
And B.L.T. have come to visit us, and we
Yes.
want to thank Jeffrey for
Yes,
allowing
thank
us
you.
over here with
Thank you.
and we got some more guests
Yes.
that's
And they're very intelligent black
Oh yeah. Harvard
Young black people.
Harvard
graduates. That's what I'm talking about.
Tyrone.
Boom, come on now. Kenwood, they making you proud.
Let's go to this commercial.
Thank you, Queen. I enjoy it. Now you're gonna need 2 chairs for you.